Hey guys, Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Avengers, the movie, which I saw in 3D today. And before I start the review, I just want to say that I have very high expectations for this movie, heard so many positive reviews, and there's a lot of hype for this movie. I also was very excited for this movie just because my favorite director was directing this movie, and that was Joss Whedon. And he does so many great projects. He did Buffy, he did Angel, he did Dr. Horrible Blog, he did Firefly, and that's just to name a few projects that he's done over the past years that were awesome and I loved. But let's start this review, and before I start telling you guys the story, just want to say this is a spoiler-free review, so don't worry about it. There won't be any spoilers if you haven't seen the movie yet, and that way you can enjoy the movie. And I know usually I do say a lot of spoilers, but I think for some movies and some TV shows and some comics, you just can't, reveal the spoilers because it would ruin the movie a little. So, spoiler-free review. So, let's talk about the story. In this movie, we get to see Loki is the big powerhouse, and he just wants everyone to kneel down to him, and he just wants to be king, pretty much. He wants to be God over everybody. He just wants to be the most powerful person. And the Avengers, all these, superheroes, Thor, Captain America, etc., join together and create the Avengers with the help of S.H.I.E.L.D. So that's pretty much what happened in this movie. Now let's talk about the good, and let's talk about the bad of this movie. So the good of this movie was the character development. Joss Whedon knows how to do character development so well, and I loved what he did with the character development for this movie. First, I want to say Captain America. I thought he had a great transition through the Captain America movie to Avengers. I think he had a great transition to time of World War II to being in the modern time. He had to learn so much in the middle. He's trying to, kind of get used to modern times. He has to get used to the terms. He has to get used to, pop culture. He has to get used to what's around him. And I love that they show that in this movie. Thor, I felt like it wasn't that much character development, but they do have the brother relationship going on, so that was kind of cool. Iron Man, if you've never seen Iron Man before, you can still see what I love about this character. The wittiness, and, if he has to be serious, he will be, and, he'll take charge, but he's witty. I love that. He's funny, and he's definitely the comedic relief for this movie. Another character, Black Widow. We saw her a lot in Iron Man 2, but we saw her a lot more in Avengers, and we get to see that her past, she doesn't love it, but, she wants to redeem for it, and I love that, and love seeing that, we learned that about her. Hulk was my favorite character development for this. I think they, hit the nail on the head for his personality. Sometimes I feel like they stray away for Hulk, showing that Bruce Banner is, supposed to be this genius that kind of keeps to himself. It's very shy. And I feel like in other Hulk movies and other interpretations of him, they kind of stray away from that. But that's the most important, the foundation for his character. And I feel like sometimes they stray away from that, and I'm glad that they didn't in this movie, and they actually kind of embraced it in this movie. They embraced it, Bruce Banner was this very shy person. I think Mark Ruffalo did a great job in showing that. He was a very shy, keep to himself kind of person. He just doesn't want to get in any trouble. But then when he gets angry, he turns into this green Hulk. And just these polar opposites that kind of just blow your mind. So, and I just love that. You know the Hulk character so well because he's been around for, so many years. I love that in this movie, it could blow your mind, saying, wow, how can a guy like that turn into something like that? It still blows your mind after so many years. Another minor character that I really loved in this movie was Agent Coulson. He shined in this movie, I thought, a lot. A lot of witty jokes. He takes action, and even though he's such a minor character, especially for comic book fans who know him, I think you're gonna love his character. Because I know for me, I was kind of excited to see him because I haven't really been into his character in other movies he's been in and other things he's been in. But when I heard that he was gonna be a big part of Avengers, I'm like, I'm gonna get into this character, and I'm glad I did because there was so much action with him. And really great character development and great story. Just a great story for him. And Iron Man and Hulk were definitely my three favorite kind of stories and character developments in this movie. Especially because Hulk, again, I didn't even like Hulk before this, and loving Hulk in this movie. I I also love the action, and like I said from the beginning of this review, I saw it in 3D. The action was, I don't know if it was better in 3D. It didn't really pop out at me, but maybe the effects were a little bit better with 3D. But it depends how much of a price difference there is. I don't think there's probably that big of a difference seeing in regular and 3D. It's not one of those movies like Avatar where you have to see this movie in 3D. You know, it's just like you know, depends how much money difference, maybe even movie times for you guys. It's one of those choices. But the action scenes were awesome. The final battle, I have to say, I'm gonna give you Avengers this compliment, is that it was the best final battle I've seen in a superhero movie, and I give Avengers that. It's definitely the best. And I really loved it. I love all the action scenes, the combat, really for Black Widow and Hawkeye. They had really great combat in this movie. Let's talk about the bad now. It's not much bad, but I think I had a lot more bad than I would have, because I saw this movie with non-comic book fans, so I kind of said, alright, let's go see Avengers. You know how much I love comic books. And they're like, alright, we'll go see Avengers. And I'm like, alright. So, and then when they walked out of the movie, they're telling me all these things they didn't like about it. And then I was like, I never noticed that, you know, non-comic book fans wouldn't like this, you know? So I think because I saw the movie with non-comic book fans, it kind of made you have kind of some bad things about this movie also. I have to say the bad thing is for non-comic book fans, I don't think they understood the story enough. Because they don't know these characters enough, and I felt like the movie's all, you have to show what stories you have, you know? And I felt like for the comic book fans, they didn't understand the story enough. And for people who haven't seen Thor and people who haven't seen Captain America, I don't think they explain the story about, this big cube that they had in this movie. I just don't think they explained that enough in this movie. Also, for me, I'm just not a big S.H.I.E.L.D. fan. So having S.H.I.E.L.D. for such a large amount of this movie, and so much time in this movie, because this was a 2-hour movie, so they kind of stretched out the S.H.I.E.L.D. scenes, and I was like, I don't like S.H.I.E.L.D., you know? I mean, I don't hate S.H.I.E.L.D. I think Nick Fury is a cool character, but, you know, having a government scenes over, you know, for such a long period of time kind of gets boring sometimes. But that's just my opinion. I'm not a big S.H.I.E.L.D. fan. And again, for non-comic book fans, I don't think they're gonna love the government parts. Maybe they could have used, I think maybe could have used those scenes for different characters, and showed more of those characters like Iron Man and Captain America and all that. For the non-comic book fans, I would say, and show more of their character development in those type of scenes. Really, I really love this movie though. I thought it was a good movie. A lot of people are saying that this movie was, you know, the best superhero movie. I think it comes close. It's definitely on my top, but I don't know if it's my favorite, but I think it does come close. I just think that I wish that this movie kind of put me on the edge of my seat. And I gotta say, nothing really unexpected happened in this movie. And when I walked into this movie, I'm like, no spoiler, guys, you know, no spoilers. I don't want any spoilers. I really was avoiding spoilers in this. And, because I felt like something big was gonna happen. And nothing really on the edge of your seat twists and turns happen in this movie, which is kind of understandable, but I kind of wanted that because it's such a big movie. I wanted like that, what just happened there, you know, kind of moment. But also, save for the end of the credits. For your comic book fans, you're gonna love, especially big Marvel comic book fans, you're gonna love the last scene in the ending credits, which is going to be continuing in either Avengers 2 or whatever movie they're going to continue that story with, but it's pretty interesting. So I like this movie. If you see it with non-comic book fans, you got to ask them in the end, did you like it? You know, I think non-comic book fans are going to be kind of split, not liking it and liking it. But me, for a comic book fan, I love the action, love the story, and I really enjoyed it. So I had some problems with it, but I still give it a 4.5. I don't think it was a perfect 5 like everyone gave it, but it's still one of my favorite superhero movies, and I thought they did a good job with a lot of these characters, because it's just so hard to bring, you know, so many characters together and just have a flowing story, and I thought they did have a really well-flown story, especially towards the end without the government parts, and towards the end when it's just really about the Avengers team, and that's what I really loved about this movie. So, for non-comic book fans, try explain to them, like, what's going on. It's like, you know, that's Thor, that's Captain America, and try explain, again, even especially if they didn't see Captain America and Thor, try explain that. I think they should explain that a little bit more in the movie, kind of reiterate what went on in Thor and Captain America. But Love this movie. Thought it was a good movie. I give it a 4.5. Tell me in the comments below if you've seen the movie and if you enjoyed it. And this was Comic Uno. Hope you guys enjoyed. And guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. In the description below, there'll be a link for both my YouTube channels, Twitters, and it'll just have news about those videos. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me your opinions about the Avengers. If you've seen it, are you gonna see it? And if you saw this movie with non-comic book fans, if they enjoyed it, and if you're obviously a comic book fan, if you enjoyed it more than they did. So this is Comic Uno. Hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.